That's right, Kurt. This week, we're hosting the Silly Hat Day edition of the cast. Bring your silliest hat into the cast, just right in there. And if you win, we will get you an entire crate of RCQ Exotic. Promise. Get some tickets from the raffle. Submit them in. At the school assembly, we'll hand them out. the RC Cola cannon. We're gonna canonize you.
You know, we were discussing this before before we started. Old sodas was primarily the subject.
Not 1800s old, mind you.
No,
just
like
1918,
early 2000s, like OG Four Loko Vault type shit. You know, the Red Vault type shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was Mountain Dew. Everybody knew it, but we're like, Mama, gotta get it. It's new. I gotta scratch that itch, Ma.
It's I at some point, I think either on my own in some alternate universe or on a Saturn Studs Live, we'll grab all these sodas. We'll grab cans of Tropical Sprite Remix, and
I don't know that I want any
soda.
part of a soda that's called a remix.
We should find the most random energy drinks or like sodas on Amazon and just do this one, cocaine.
I remember cocaine. You can interpret that however you want.
Y'all remember Original Balls? I don't know if they still make it. It was the OG energy drink before Red Bull. It was Balls XXX. That's Balls with a W.
Did it have a Man Cave-esque commercial where it's like, grab life by the balls?
Man Cave-esque.
You know, a lot of loud pictures coming at you.
Perhaps.
All I know is
your hungry
also,
man dinner.
don't type in Balls XXX into Google. I know I shouldn't. Anyone who's internet savvy should know this.
Really, Peter?
But
that
got you.
That didn't get you what you were expecting.
Might be a little bit.
A little too much of what you expected.
It doesn't help that the bottle is literally has like the bumps. It has the textured bumps.
It's ribbed for her pleasure. That's funny. Why?
So you can grip it better because you get the shakes after drinking.
It's for gripping. You want to run a marathon?
Happy November.
You want to run your marathon with pure guarana? Grab new studded balls.
Wait, does it say caffeine guaranteed up top? Oh no, balls. Caffeine guarana. Okay.
Guarana.
I would want that as advertising on my fucking
caffeine
soda.
Guaranteed.
God damn, 32 grams of sugar and 10 fluid ounces.
Only the best, baby.
Oh boy.
Fucking too much of a good thing. Just like our first trailer on Trae Watch.
Whoa,
trailer watching segment.
You skipping where we're coming from?
I did.
My God, I had a whole bit lined up.
I drank a balls before this. I'm too hyped up.
No, I was gonna go off on a tangent, so it's probably better that we did.
I have no idea where to put the marker.
We're coming at you live from the World Cup. We're in Saudi Arabia. Is that where
we're in Quasar?
Is that because
we're in? I believe is the name.
We're in Quasar.
Town?
And we decided to pull a little pranky poo on the Saudis.
Historically good-humored people.
Yes. We know how they love inclusivity.
Practical
so we
jokes.
Decided to just wear all rainbow and dye our hair pink and just like carry around dildos. But like they're microphones, so we're going to go around interviewing people later. It's going to be great.
We're doing it for the gram.
We don't know why they gave
doing
us
it
a
for
booth.
the imam.
We're going to test how much they've reevaluated the relationship with Saudi.
We're doing it for the political prisonership.
I've always wanted to be a political prisoner. It's a dream of mine from an early age.
How far can we push U.S.-Saudi tensions?
Yeah, get into the breaking point.
Middle East brinksman. The fucking title of the video is Middle East brinksmanship. Gone viral. Gone sexual.
Gone sexual. We knew the reporter didn't break it, so
there's the big fucking red arrow pointing to like to a fucking slave building a stadium. And it's just the fucking thumbnail. The thumbnail just going like pogging right at the human rights abuses.
Hog, child slavery.
So what are the chances of the main stadium after it's been, halfway built and used up at the Olympics? Does it become the next spot for the crown jewel expansion for WWE?
Non-zero.
It's about as good as we can hope for. But what we can also hope for is the same trailer that I was about to talk about in Trae Watch, our trailer watching segment of this podcast about things. John Wick.
Great description of this show. It's about things, generally.
It's approximately things. John Wick Chapter 4, another one. I don't feel as like grumpy about this as like other franchises that go on for just like gratuitous sequels, because it was kind of upfront, and I feel like that's part of the deal. Was like Keanu Reeves was very much like, yeah, we're just gonna like keep bumping these out. No one pretend that this is for artistic integrity or whatever. This is because people want to watch John Wick shoot people and do it over and over again, and we're just going to keep making these. So until you stop watching, we will keep making them. And that kind of sums up this trailer, more or less.
Yeah, if you've seen one John Wick movie, you've kind of seen them all.
Yeah, maybe it's not like as exhausting because they are fun to watch. So it's like, yeah, it might be the same movie over and over again, but
yeah, I mean, I have a soft spot in my heart for schlocky action movies. I've made no secret of that in my life, but it is largely the same sort of beats over and over.
Yeah. It also benefits from not having a capital F fandom, or at least not one that's mainstream. Like, I'm sure there are lore heads who go deep into the John Wick like story and are all about the table and management and all the like the lore behind it.
Well, that shit went from 0 to 100 real quick, because none of that was in the first movie.
Nope, they're just like, all right, we're making sequels. We need world building immediately. Call the world building specialist. He's gonna fucking shove all of this shit in here. And that's also the beauty of it, is like I don't have to worry. They'll just you can just put whatever in there in terms of like story contrivances. Oh, like there's the table, but there's like the table on the table with the super Illuminati, and he's got to fight them now. And I'd be like smiling and watching along for the ride, as long as he like,
yeah, sure.
I don't know. Does he like, I don't know, use a blender to like decapitate a person? Fuck, I'll watch it. Is he gonna gouge someone through the brain with a jewel and then smoke their mind? Fucking, I'll tune in. I'll watch it on whatever streaming service it fucking sloughs its way onto.
This bad boy is going only in theaters. They made a point about that.
Well, it will eventually find its way to a streaming service.
So, you know how some franchises have like the proper watch order, or like the alternative watch order? Right?
Let's say yes, for the sake of advancing your story.
Yeah, for like, what is it? I know Star Wars has a famous one, the machete order, right? where you watch them not in like chronological order or not in movie number order, but you watch them in a different order.
Yeah.
So you can do that with this, but the special order is you just hit shuffle every 20 minutes. and you just blend all these movies together into one. And, you'll just get, there'll be an action scene. You don't know which movie it's from, but you're fucking watching it. And it's just it's the John Wick experience. John Dude. You throw a little cyberpunk in there, no one will even notice.
All right, that's John Wick Chapter 4. They don't even have a fancy name for it like they did the last one.
Simplistic.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird when it's like Tokyo Drift. How that's the one that has like the weird subtitle.
Well, the whole gimmick for a while was they'd like kind of get punny with the order of the words. Like, you had Fast and Furious, then there's Too Fast, Too Furious, and then Tokyo Drift, and then they reset it, and it was no longer about stealing combo DVD VHS players. Yeah. They just rebranded Fast and Furious, and then Fast 5, Furious 6.
Yep.
Fate of the Furious, because Fate has the word 8 in it, kind of.
Speaking of sequels, with funny names, we got Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, so they made sure to let you know it's a part of that franchise.
Well, if you spent the money that Netflix spent on this, I'm sure you would too.
Yeah. And you know what? I have to think it's intentional at this point. That, again, they're calling this trailer number 1. We've been talking about this for like a couple months now.
Yeah, this should get delayed or something like that, or is it coming out like pronto?
I think they just name every trailer number 1.
Yeah, this is definitely not like... This is the same trailer that we saw in the movie theater in front of Black Adam.
Oh, really?
Literally the same one.
Oh, I have not seen this yet, so... Well, but then again, I also haven't seen a movie.
Well, but in your defense, this was uploaded as trailer 1 3 days ago.
Yeah, no, yeah.
We saw Black Adam 2 weeks ago.
Wow, that's. I'm trying to think of if there was any other ones. I mean, I know they would put Dave Bautista as the front and center dude, so.
Of course, you gotta push the Batista out front. With your Bautista's out.
I maybe the trailer we saw before. I mean, other than your Black Adam one, was just the one that was the quote unquote teaser one that probably gave away too much. Because this is a lot of.
Well, this one is
definitely longer and didn't give out a lot, but maybe it did. I don't know. Maybe they should have like saved the.
I mean, I hope for that.
I think there's no
in a mystery.
There's really no need for a trailer to ever be longer than 2 minutes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it was just to try to sell more on the cast, or like we really got a lot of star power here. Like, look, no, we swear. Mm-hmm. Like, they're great. Look at Dave Bautista. He shows his titties like 4 or 5 times in the trailer alone.
Pay no attention to the fact he's nearly 60.
Yeah. To be fair, we just talked about John Wick 4 and Keanu Reeves is he's past 60, right?
Well, adrenochrome will do crazy shit, man.
Dave Bautista's 53, Keanu Reeves, yeah, I think he's in his 60s now.
The blood of babies will bring you closer to God. So
no, he's 50.
It happens.
58. So he's not quite 60.
Okay.
But damn close. By the time John Wick 6 rolls around, he'll be 60 years old. John Wick Chapter 6, septuagenarian.
For reference, Kurt.
For sextagenarian.
I mean, well, we both have fathers who are a little bit older than that.
Yeah,
only just a little
dad
bit.
Is 66.
Yeah. So like, yeah, he is as old as Millennial's dad.
Could conceivably be my father. That would not be even a stretch.
Could he conceive me to be my father? He was in Bill and Ted, right? They gave him time powers for that. Make me Keanu Reeves' son. Make me Baby Reeves.
Why do you want to be Keanu Reeves' bastard child?
Because then you get a cool last name like in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like how they called Jon Snow Jon Snow. That's because he was a bastard in the North. So they would call them Snows.
The way you said that, you're like, that's why they called Jon Snow Jon Snow. It's like, is that just that was his name?
Well, because I don't know if it's no, I think it's area. It's area. Wherever they're born in.
Volume Stark.
Location, sorry. Little Mr. Particular. Whatever location a bastard is born in, that gives their last name.
Oh,
so,
I feel bad for Mitch back in the New York City taxi cab.
I thought you were talking about Arya Stark, and I'm like, yeah, why do they have Arya Stark? Why haven't they come out with Volume Stark? Or,
God damn it.
Or Distance Stark.
Dornish are stones.
And Brandon
or maybe they're snakes, I don't know.
Brandon bathroom stall of a truck stop also is gonna have a hard life.
So yeah, different bastard names. But
Nicolas Cage.
You ever have intrusive thoughts that make you think that you might be a little special?
I plead the fifth.
I'm looking at the Rotten Tomatoes video trailer list and just like looking at it from a outward perspective, and like the guy who's picking the thumbnail is like overly reliant on faces.
No.
Faces do well in the algorithm, you see.
I guess so.
Yes, I am looking at this where every thumbnail is a face with a close to mid-level shot, looking in one of three directions, to the left, to the right, or directly at the camera.
Because I saw that
one could look, yeah.
I saw the thumbnail for Troll, and I said, "Wow, Dave Bautista is doing wonders with makeup." And then I'm like, "Wait, they're all Dave Bautista, just in different makeup and prosthetics."
We all have a little Dave Bautista in
us. Sometimes you got to let the Bautista out. Sometimes you just got to let the whale out. In the new trailer, The Whale, which we have absolutely no idea what it's about.
We got to hear Brendan Fraser say lines, and that made me excited.
I can make a educated guess that Brendan Fraser's character is struggling with an illness, possibly of a terminal variety.
We don't know. The trailer didn't tell us. So I have to have a 2-hour-long trailer.
Well, yeah, I swung and a miss with that one. Here's the synopsis from the description box and Rotten Tomato trailers. An obese and reclusive English teacher tries to reconnect with his estranged teenage daughter for one last chance at redemption.
Ooh.
Yep, there.
Look at that.
This is a fucking intense trailer. I do say.
I've heard a fair amount about this, from like film festival reviews, and apparently like Brandon Fraser got a standing ovation at whatever film festival. So this is a shot for him to get back and do something he's never done in his career and win an award.
Yeah.
Bro. Oh, and it's fucking coming out the 9th. Like, it's coming out in a month. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Award season. So
Yeah,
I'll have to
saw
watch
a lot.
another A24 movie this year. God damn it.
People were talking a lot about that. Just the fact that it got so much behind the scenes praise. And we knew next to nothing about it other than just Brendan Fraser was awesome in it, apparently. And yeah, it would be cool to see him make a pretty triumphant comeback. Because the dude had it all. The dude was on top of the world. Like he could have done a ton of shit and been like, I don't want to say Tom Cruise, but like he could have done.
Well, they got him in The Mummy because they couldn't get Tom Cruise. He was still filming Eyes Wide Shut.
Like, he had not one, but two movies about a caveman learning to interact with the modern day society.
It's true.
Say a wild man. He was both Encino Man and George of the Jungle and George of the Jungle 2.
Yeah.
He was in Monkey Bones too, right? Monkey Bones?
I believe so.
Yeah, that movie rocked my world, dude. Monkey Bones was the tits. So yeah, and I feel like not a lot of people know about his why he kind of slinked back into obscurity, and part of that might was I know a bit of the Man Me Too movement where he didn't really get a whole lot of recognition for what happened to him. I don't even know if
he was kind of like
assaulter even got anything happened.
Well, he got him blacklisted from Hollywood pretty much. For a long time, and
if you want to,
I don't want to say wrong things. The information's out there if you want to look into it. Just know basically you got a pretty raw deal, and the fact that he disappeared for a couple decades from being in stuff isn't just because his last
like he was in stuff,
was
just wasn't in the mainstream eye.
He was in G.I. Joe? Oh, uncredited cameo.
Well, because he was the Robot Man.
Yeah, that's when we first started. That's when he oh yeah, Brendan Fraser.
It's kind of like the beginning of his comeback.
The Renaissance, as they're calling it.
Renaissance. I love it.
And if you go watch our episode, I don't know which one it is, but it's way back.
Yeah.
About Doom Patrol. I think we go into more detail about what happened because we were figuring that out for ourselves on the stream or on the cast.
It was not fun.
Nope. So we're all rooting for him.
Yeah, hopefully he can win that award and have a moment of triumph. Yeah, I don't have a transition. Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. It's another Pinocchio movie.
In a world of tons of Pinocchio movies, another one.
Here's one.
DJ Khaled says another one with a slightly different story. And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's Guillermo del Toro. He's doing his Del Toro thing. I do like that the blue fairy is like a fucking sphinx. That was nifty. Yeah, he feels... I don't know why, but I'm getting like the Golem of Prague vibes from this. I don't know.
I don't know how comfortable I am with the fact that Pinocchio is naked.
Yeah, he's just hanging his wood out for everyone to see.
I mean, though, it makes me feel better that we know definitively
he doesn't have a penis.
That Geppetto didn't build a penis on him. Because I feel like the fact that he wears clothes normally.
So I guess he didn't get his wish.
Don't be wearing clothes. You ain't got no nudity under there.
Because he wants to be a real boy, and he can't be a real boy if he doesn't have.
Well, if he
the equipment
becomes a real boy, then it's just smooth underneath there. I don't know what else, man. I don't want to really dive deep into this, but. Man, all I got questions is if he did have a penis,
this is
what
where
would make it grow?
You draw the line in terms of what you're willing to engage in.
Maybe fake little boy penis, kinda. But it does leave me with a burning question, a burning hard-on, if you will, of what does his peener have like magical powers?
Telling
like
the truth, obviously.
Well, no, because then it would be like constantly like
yeah,
rock hard.
That's his fucking. That's the gift they've given to him to encourage. It's to encourage him to be a good person.
That's a curse, man. Just imagine
no. The thing is that his nose, like the nose and the dick, are actually the same branch, and it just goes from one to the other based on how much truth he's telling at the same time. More importantly, I think, which is critical for everyone to understand, if you go frame by frame through this trailer, you will find that at about a minute, I want to say, a little after, we have the most important cameo of all time. He goes to the Joker stairs. Where is it? Fuck. Yeah, it's like he goes to the. I can't. It dropped right past me. I can't search for it. But
you promised me Joker stairs.
Where are you?
Hold on, we'll find it. Investigative journalism. Don't call it dead air. It's investigative journalism.
All right. Well, Jake's
getting there.
Stepping into
1
the
second
mine.
per second. Found it. I found it, guys. Joker stairs confirmed for 56 seconds.
All right behind it. All right, you had it by like. Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah,
rock solid. That's gonna be the new meme. Everybody's gonna the Pinocchio Joker stairs. Nobody saw it coming. Guillermo del Toro.
He's at the fucking carnival. And he's like, when I come out, I want you to call me Pinocchio.
And then he shoots Geppetto in the fucking head.
You're awful, Geppetto. You get what you deserve.
What's a cricket?
You didn't make me a penis.
I can't pee, Geppetto.
I've been holding it in for my whole life. 4 miserable, cursed years.
I'm constipated, and I'm tired of pretending I'm not.
It's a good thing I'm made of water, else I'd definitely have a urinary tract infection.
Is Bruce Wayne my real father? Tell me.
Don't worry.
Yeah, that's Pinocchio, because I mean,
speaking of the Joker, baby, Mind Cage,
the Joker, played by John Malkovich, does some art on some dead bodies, and apparently that's illegal now. What the fuck?
I didn't know we were living in a dictatorship. I mean, you can't even all
morticians are criminals now. I mean, what else would you call embalming?
Elon Musk owns Twitter. I thought comedy was legal now. I kill and dress up a couple bodies.
I paid like my $8 for my blue check mark. This shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, what the fuck, John Malkovich?
Zodiac Killer verified?
Yeah, this is what happens when Lionsgate tries to make a neo-noir thriller in the vein of Seven or Zodiac. You get something a little half-baked, starring.
You get Martin
starring guys in the back nine of their career.
Very tired Martin Lawrence. He is sleepy in this.
He just woke up from his 12 p.m. nap.
I've worked on this case for 30 years.
Man,
He's my arch rival emesis.
I can't wait for the behind the scenes until he tells us about old Hollywood and how it used to be. Man, that'll be great.
Martin
Lawrence is great.
I can't. I can only hope that this is better than All the Little Things. That one with Rami Malek, Denzel Washington, and Jared Leto. Mm-hmm.
The one where it's like it was almost looking like it was going to be a very interesting premise.
It looked promising, and then they just not deliver on any of that promise.
The only way this is good is if they give the reins, and I mean the fucking reins, to John Malkovich. Because I'll do disgusting things for some John Malkovich screen time. That was my biggest disappointment about Red.
Did you want to... Were you really captivated by the movie being John Malkovich and saddened that you didn't have the opportunity to be John Malkovich?
I never saw it.
Oh, it's pretty good. It's on the Plex server.
Yeah. Has John Malkovich ever been in a movie with Werner Herzog? I feel like that would be a tour de force.
I don't know.
Put him on a bike, it'll be Tour de France, if you know what I mean.
So, I mean, if you're looking
want to
for
mistake your meaning there.
No, there's no.
Could be misinterpreted in so many ways.
I'm glad you know what I mean, though.
Well, he gets to be a guy sitting in a prison and getting interviewed in the prison cell. So that means he gets to be that's the new, that's the criteria for being a top actor. Like, is your character insane and you're in a tense interview with a hero in a prison cell?
Well, he's got that Lionsgate contract where he's like, "I'll be in your movie, but just barely. I don't want to have to stand. I want there to be papers in front of my character, so I don't have to remember my lines. I can just read the script."
There's strong Silence of the Lambs vibes from this. Definitely with the needing the previous murder to help on an investigation. So it's not exactly original, but hey, we'll see.
I think you might be the only person who will ever compare Mind Cage to Silence of the Lambs.
Well, I saw that in the comments too. I mean, in the case of there's another killer, and you need to talk to the other killer to figure out the first killer.
That's literally exactly how Silence
I understand. I've seen the movie, Jake. I'm just saying that I think one is going to be in a much different strata of film than the other.
I mean, I feel like people look back on Silence of the Lambs and they're probably like, it's okay.
I want this, but with more John Malkovich.
Where's
Martin Lawrence? I need Martin Lawrence.
I guess, yeah. We'll have
Jodie
to see
Foster's good and all, but I wish
it
like
was Martin
Lawrence.
What? Just replace her in every movie she was in with Martin Lawrence.
You know what's funny? This is the type of movie that we'll find out later that it was supposed to be Will Smith, and they recorded like half the movie with Will Smith.
Well, I would have thought, well, maybe Will Smith
edited him out.
Maybe Will Smith's the killer at the end.
Oh, he just kills his victims with a slap.
Yeah, that's why they're all so pale. He slaps the color out of their cheeks.
And he absorbs it to himself.
Yep.
Because we all know Will Smith, the white man, needs to get his blackface
siphon melanin from his unsuspecting victims.
He wears the skin of his victims. He's got that vampire slap. It's a special move. It's his Terra move. He can terrestrialize into vampire
power of his stand.
Terra type.
Oh,
this is good. I'm workshopping a Will Smith Pokemon right now. Nintendo, you listen good for your Will Smith DLC.
They had to put him in Pokemon because they couldn't put him in Hamilton, so they made Chevalier instead. Hey, last
transitions.
I think that's the last trailer we got here.
Yeah,
at least the last new one.
No, it's a light week.
This combines the tropes that we've kind of noticed over the past couple weeks, which is, one, like the hype behind Hamilton, of course, and two, this like absolute like swarm of sassy like classical period dramas
Bridgerton.
Yeah, and like, or Lady Chatterley's Lover, which was last week. And then you're matching that up with the based on a true story genre, which I guess this story is a pretty good story. So I've heard the story of Chevalier Saint Georges, who is a pretty larger than life kind of figure. I guess
that's not a real name. That's just a collection of random syllables.
Well,
sorry, you're right.
Oh.
I apologize. It's Chevalier de Saint Georges.
Much.
I'll make
more
fun of the
believable.
French. I'll make fun of the French. They have their own way of doing things, you know. His real name was Joey Baloney.
Joey Botafuco.
You think I'm lying? It's Joey Baloney.
Send it over, baby. Yeah, so I guess he was. I mean, from what I gather, I have done literally no research into this.
Sometimes I don't.
Fuck.
Sometimes I don't.
That was a move I would make. I commend you for that, Jake. Holy shit, Joseph Bologna.
That really demystifies the whole story, doesn't it?
Yeah, if you replace every
could you imagine if they just titled this movie Joey Baloney?
Like he's up, like in this trailer, he's got to go up on stage and do like the violin rap, like the violin off with the other guy, and they're like calling him up. It's like, all right, and your challenger is Joey Baloney.
Why wouldn't you call the movie that? That's such a better name. That's a million times better.
I may go to this movie only to see if they will include this.
Oh jeez, I need to hold on. Let's see if I can't grab that for no.
His name was Joey Baloney. Put some respect on it. Come on now.
Come on now. And so I'm reading his wiki now, and he got 2 concertos dedicated to him by Antonio Lolly.
So this popped up in the wrong
Tony Lolly.
Wrong screen.
Tony Lolly.
So Tony Lolly.
This one goes out to Joey Baloney.
Goes out to Joey Baloney. Hey, you going to the Tony Lolly show later? Yeah, I heard
he went to the
lit.
Académie Royale Polytechnique. He went to Paris Polytechnic. He got his music degree.
There's your there it is, folks. Joseph Baloney.
Wait. He was the son of a Metz. This just keeps getting better.
History would be a lot more cooler if we put just their nicknames in history. So yeah, Johnny Adams was one of the presidents after Georgie.
George wash my balls.
Not a lot of good.
I know, all the American ones are lame.
Yeah, kind of lame.
Hey, it's Tommy J.
I don't really feel like it's appropriate to really try to find a figure in American history with a name like Joey Baloney. I feel like that's too high a standard that we're trying to hold to.
Yeah, it's a legendary moniker. So I don't think any effort would be in vain.
Yeah, so I like the little throwbacks. We got little name drops every now and then to Marie No Neck Antoinette, and that's pretty cool. No, everything should be directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda, and there should be like some meta songs in this that are like, "Hey, yo, Marie Antoinette, don't lose your head, huh? Keep it cool."
This could be. What if they turned this into the sequel to Hamilton? Like the spiritual sequel.
Wouldn't chronologically this be a prequel?
Prequel. Oh, yeah. There you go.
Well, Yeah. This is before the French Revolution. So
because he was in the French Revolution too, in addition to being an accomplished violinist and this man literally went to Bard College and joined in the fucking revolution plot.
I saw 1740s. I don't know if that's correct or not.
That sounds like Bastille times.
The band?
Them Bastille times. The head bitch Karen Bastille. I'll kill her.
Goddamn bitch Karen Bastille. Alrighty, let's wrap that up and
let's keep going
and talk some movies here. That's
that have already come out.
Joey Below here. Follow up. It's some November, first weekend of November, 4th through the 6th, 2022. Black Adam holding on to the top spot like grim death. 18.27 million, only down 33.5%, which is less of a drop than last week. And it did drop out of another 400 theaters, so maybe it's stabilizing.
It could be. It's also the only superhero movie in the top 10 right now, so it has no competition. I would say this is a genius move by Warner Brothers, planning to release it between Halloween and Christmas. I feel like that's the sweet spot for if you just need to put any superhero movie and let it get to the top of the box office. You've got an open shot.
$326 million. I was, however, just reading a story the other day about how it's likely to fizzle at the box office without China. I guess this movie isn't opening in China.
Oh, because of magic?
Maybe
too much magic?
And maybe ancient tombs. I don't know.
Egyptian gods. Yeah, they talk about Egyptian gods. Weird. Yeah.
So that was an interesting move for a studio that is desperate to not lose money.
Well, I think we missed out on an opportunity here, though.
Are we going to get The Rock in a limo eating ice cream and talking about Bing chilling?
Well, similar, yeah. Because remember when I think it was like a Fast and Furious, or was it the one of the spin-off ones?
John Cena accidentally called Taiwan a country,
and he had to apologize and what seemed like fluent Mandarin.
Yeah, he does. He's been learning Mandarin for a while. But I do remember
always go back to this.
I remember the fucking hostage video look that it had.
Kurt, do you remember the time that John Cena came back for that one match and in kayfabe he'd gone to China to learn his 6th move of death?
Oh yes, I do.
Because he had the five moves of death, but he hadn't wrestled in a pay-per-view in however many years. He comes back for whichever WrestleMania.
I don't think it had been that long, and I think it was for the Super Showdown Australia show.
Yeah, and he's like, I have my 6th move of death, and it's so weird. It was it's
like a weird spinning back fist thing.
Yeah,
Jake,
it was.
You're on video. Everyone can see you abandoning your post. Look at this fucking dereliction of duty over here. You're married to her, Jake. She's not going anywhere.
So, I am still getting used to my ring. And it's already slipped off one time when I flick my fingers after I wash my hands. So now I'm taking it off before. I only do this here, which is good. Or I sometimes leave it behind. And that was the first time I noticed. I'm like, fuck, where's my ring? So I had a mild panic attack. We got it. We're good.
We got it.
Just like One Piece film Red got there to the second.
The One Ring is real.
to second place in the box office this week with a quite distant second of $9.3 million, but in only 2,300 theaters, so a pretty strong per theater average of just under $4,000. But more importantly than any of that shit, it finds itself in our spotlight this week. Because
that was my dramatic sound.
We are hurting for choices.
Yeah, we were not going to review Tad the Lost Explorer and the Emerald Tablet. Neither were we going to review Vandits.
I did cast a vote for Vandits, but it was overruled.
So
did you already do?
We'll keep that on
Banshees?
the docket.
No, but I actually want to see that.
Okay.
So, as you know the drill, we IMDb user reviews, real reviewers, etc., etc.
The real
Grant
reviewers
Abbott,
yeah,
son of Greg,
son of a Greg,
76212 has a review of a One Piece film, Red. Thus, the movie was fantastic. Don't let neckbeards on this site fool you. Again, this is 10 out of 10. Submitted November 5th. Way too many people on here found it bad. The entire premise that it was at a concert. What did you expect? The visuals were stunning. Great story / villain. We learned more about so many things. I wanted to post this to increase its ratings here because people wanted what the movie wasn't. Don't blame the creators of the film or Oda for you not understanding that it was meant to be partly musical. It was advertised so many times showing us it was about music. I just think you need to look at what they wanted to make and what was produced. A great musical film. All caps on that. And that's exactly what we got. Get mad, but don't bring this movie with you. So, don't have an opinion on whether or not you enjoyed the fact it was a musical. You just don't get it. 5 out of 7 found that helpful.
Just consume and get excited for next product.
All right, so I'm seeing a trend as I'm going through the 1 out of 10s.
Is it about music?
It's either music is dumb or you baited us with Shanks. So
that character, my favorite, Shanks.
I think
wanted to see him so bad.
Yeah, I think this hits our drink quota or drink rule. 1 out of 10, 0 stars. I could rate it. Shanks is bait. Take a drink. Gave it his own rating in the title, nonetheless. Now, warning, spoilers. So any avid anime One Piece aficionados, you're not here because you've already seen the movie. And you don't even care. So, fuck it. Shanks is bait. Nothing to do with Shanks. No, this is not his review. This is me. No, I have outlined my review in a bulleted format. So, this is why it's bad. Terrible storyline. I tried so hard to stay awake throughout. Next bullet. The worst art direction of any One Piece movie. What's with all the mess that's happening on the screen throughout?
It's called animation.
Wow.
I believe we call that a movie.
What are these lines? What are these pictures flashing in front of my eyes? I can't turn pages? What the fuck?
Pictures are moving. What the fuck?
I didn't understand any of the Japanese. No, that was the word. Third bullet. Character develop was a complete mess. first of all, what the
How do
fuck?
you know if you can't understand?
You've had 1,000 episodes of character development for all the other fucking idiots in the show.
What's there left to develop?
The one new bitch who's singing a song, that's her character development. She sings a song. Sorry, I don't know why I'm getting so heated. Sorry. Character development was a complete mess. All random and nothing of the magic that connects the audience with all of the One Piece series. Why do I even care about who Uta is? Who? That's a singing girl. That's like the main protagonist or antagonist.
See?
Who or what even is the Demon King? What a badly thought plot. It's just chaos from start to finish. Last bullet. And why keep forcing your audience to listen to the songs? Bad animation with the dancing, and every song is just so forced on the audience. This is really the worst movie ever. What were they thinking? Why? 9 out of 20 found that helpful.
Amazing.
Wow.
With a 4 out of 10 here. We've got Zy Paris. 4 out of 10. Very boring. One does not tend to expect much for an anime movie spinoff. Still, the bar has dropped so low nowadays. 1. Action was limited and predictable. Cool battle choreography was little, and they mostly depended on cool flashy lights and CGI, which is nice if balanced with good battle choreography. 2. Still don't understand what Tote Musica is and where it came from. Why was it connected to Uchiha, etc. 3. A cocktail of characters that mostly appeared and did nothing. Writers need to understand that it's much better to deploy a handful of old characters with a handful of new ones, put the Mugiwara in the middle, and write a story. Obviously, throwing too much is nostalgic and easier for writers to get away, as usually they are pressed for time. My point is, I'd like to forget Big Mom Crew or CP0 or Kobe were even involved in this movie. All in all, watchable at best. 7 out of 14. And a 0 out of 14 for that voice. That was my worst one yet.
Yeah, you were kind of in between a few different things there, which is, well trodden ground for you.
I like to vision you as a younger, not coked out Donald Trump. Like a Donald Trump that was closing on his first house.
Well, when Donald Trump was in his prime, actually a dangerous grifter who could string together several sentences. He didn't sound like that. He sounded like a normal dude.
I don't know what happened.
That's how we got you.
He grew jowls.
I can't tell you what happened. But I can tell you that Raza Gaming R has a 10 out of 10 review of One Piece Film Red titled One Piece's Best Anime Ever, September 9th, 2022. Oh. And he writes, Uda is a beloved singer renowned for concealing her own identity when performing. Her voice is described as otherworldly. Now, for the first time ever, Uda will reveal herself to the world at a live concert. Luffy is best, Shanks is legend, Zoro is Zoro. It's not anima, it's reality of its world. No anime. Come close to One Piece. Islam Zinabad. One Piece is Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Hiroichiro Uda and has been serialized in Shuichi Shunin Manga Magazine Weekly Shen Jump since July 1997, with its individual chapters compiled into 103 tank-bound volumes as of August 2022. 5 out of 9 found that helpful.
Fucking amazing.
See, when I grabbed I got more than I bargained for, because when I grabbed this, I thought it was just going to be like the fucking back of the box description of the movie. And I thought that was funny enough, but then it just went off the rails.
They really just fucking hit the. They hit the autocomplete.
It's not an anima. It's reality of its world.
Man, that's deep though. That's an anime line in and of
Jaden
itself.
Smith level, baby.
So the people who did not like this for the Shanks bait, I don't know what words I just said. Is fucking Gen Z jargon. I did not like it because it had music. So, you knew what you were going into? Wasn't all of it about music? So Maroon Faya said 1 out of 10. If you like Disney musical, you may like it. You may like it.
You might. It's possible.
Now, the formatting is weird. Every line, it's almost like poem form. So that's all I'll read it, actually. Super long music video rather than movie. I've been One Piece fans since 20 years ago. This is the worst One Piece movie. I don't understand where's the storyline since they keep singing and singing. If you like Princessy Disney movie, this is for you. Don't expect One Piece or even mediocre anime movie vibe, because it's not it. My friend, who's also a One Piece fan, literally fall asleep on the middle PF the movie. And the Toxic Denial fans would still rate it 10 just because it would hurt their pride if their anime got lower rating. This is not only the worst One Piece movie, but the most boring anime movie I ever watched. Why this is hype and got a lot of money? They just hyping thearketing by selling a Kagami no Shanks. Without him, this movie would not even get a 1 from me.
Yeah, Cam.
Yeah. 23 out of 49. Sorry, the ending got me. They're just hyping thearketing. They combined the and marketing. Drop the M. The arketing.
Drop the M, spell it backwards.
By selling a Kagame no Shanks. That's Japanese for something.
Something of Shanks, as a matter of fact.
El Camaro. It's Spanish for the Camaro. Oh, and you know what? I was really confident in this last one to really finish her off here, but after that, I'm feeling a little less confident. But we'll run it anyways, kids. Arthur Tefero with his 4 out of 10 review. Now, I'll put this kernel in your mind. Just remember where all of animation came from. Okay?
Rubber hoses.
Another cartoon posing as a film. One Piece Film Red. This cartoon in a long line of cartoons produced in the last decade or so that belong strictly on the Cartoon Channel to be viewed for a lot less cost to a parent and child than the $20 plus another $20 for junky snacks. Chris Gore is right about the vast majority of films in the last decade. This is one of them, although I believe 99% is too high for the percentage of bad films. It is more like 85 to 90% for me. This fantasy about a voice being so great that the world cannot wait to see who it belongs to is pretty silly. The world does not care. The days of the music idol have been declining for decades. It is a thing of the past. Try again. You're out of 13. 0.
Zilch.
Try again. Make a better movie, Japan.
It belongs on the Cartoon Channel.
Music idols don't exist.
One of those buttons was the right button to change to the right scene. glad y'all don't get to see me struggle.
It's not like it's on camera.
I gotta go back to this. Ticket to Paradise gets displaced by One Piece. And brings in $8.5 million, down 13.2%, but picked up by 374 theaters, interestingly. Smiles in fourth, same as last week, down 26.6%. So not a lot of huge droppers at the box office this weekend.
At least not in the top, yeah.
Wow, Smile made a ton of money. I was going through the budgets.
Yeah, it did very well for a horror movie.
Black Adam was about a $200 million budget, and they marketed the shit out of that. So even with how much they pulled in, I don't even know if they're going to make it back. But $17 million for Smile. Fuck.
It's a Blair Witch Project level return, almost.
And it was, I think that was the horror film of choice this year for movie-going audiences.
That or X.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the box office, Smile did better than any other horror movie, financially at least. But
right.
Pray for the Devil did not fare as well, down 45.8%. No other changes, just its second week. Trails Smile in its sixth week. Lyle Crocodile surged up 22.9% to bring its gross to $3.3 million, despite leaving 130 theaters.
Who knows?
That's one of the more random searches I've ever seen.
They are the sheeple are slowly realizing the Crocodile movie is fucking goated, dude.
Shawn Mendes is in. Right, I remember who he is. Yeah,
he's Crocodile.
Shawn Mendes is Crocodile.
Hey, it's got Anton Sugar in it.
Give me some of that Anton Sugar. Yeah, the Brownie in Motion caught that one this week, I guess.
Yeah. The Banshees of Inisherin hit a wider release today, this week rather, last week. One of these times is what this time frame is referring to. 837 more theaters, bringing it to 895 total, up 284%, 2 million. Rocketing up into seventh place in its third week. Till continues its second week of wide release here. Another 78 theaters, up to 2,100, $1.85 million, down 32.5% from last week. Only $7 million so far worldwide. This feels like a smaller budget awards film kind of thing, where they're just getting it out to say that it was in theaters and make it eligible for awards. Halloween Ends somehow manages to stay in the top 10 despite it being November and it being on Peacock and it having already dropped 70% the prior week.
Like Michael Myers, it just won't stay down.
Down 64.5% out of 490 theaters. Still in almost 3,000 theaters last week. That's crazy.
I wonder if that's a testament to how bad Peacock is being received.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know what? It might be easier to find it at your theater than to spend the time looking for it on Peacock.
Yeah.
It's impossible to find anything on Peacock. $103 million worldwide. And it just edges out Terrifier 2. Which also somehow still carving out a pretty respectable total.
Still hanging. More tenacious than I would have realized, even though the total gross over these 5 weeks is $9 million.
9 million domestic. Yeah.
Yeah. Like this thing has been in the top 10 for a while, but it has been number 10 for a while.
Top Gun Maverick, it ain't.
Yeah. Yeah, with that, like Top Gun Maverick is out of the top 10. I think it's they just pulled it. They're done with it they finally said, we're not making
30
$1
weeks
trillion
is enough
anymore. Cut it all. But, Minions Rise of Gru is still hanging around.
They're waiting for their re-release.
Oh my God, guys.
Like,
look at number 28 down here.
Yep. The RRR 2022 re-release. In one theater.
And if I'm not mistaken, the movie came out in 2022.
Huh?
I wonder what this. I'm gonna look up what theater this released in, because this sounds like someone wanted to do like a festival, and just like.
It must have been pretty big theater if it brought in $10,000.
Yeah, seriously.
Let's see. August 5th.
It'd have to be last week, so it'd have to be November something.
Yeah.
November 4th. So
it's not given. There's no news on it.
Lumpia with a Vengeance. Still charting. In 3 theaters.
Whole 3.
All right.
That's the follow-up.
That sure is the follow-up. Let's talk gaming news. Where to begin?
Start on the Frontier. The Sonic Frontiers dropped.
Yeah, Sonic Frontiers has dropped.
I don't have any news about it.
I haven't.
All I know is that lots of people are playing it and making content about it.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to. I will probably not consume much of that content until I've had a chance to get my own hands on the game, which will be at some point, hopefully.
Yeah,
not too distant future.
We'll play video games somewhere along the line.
I've been meaning to finish Spider-Man for what's going on like 2 months now. Just every time I try to sit down to play it, there's something else that distracts me. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are just a week out or so from release, and it's already like released completely. People are live streaming the game. Like there are no secrets anymore.
Oh yeah, I've been watching some guy play it on TikTok. And it's I'm like, how the fuck are you not like gunned down by Nintendogs?
Honestly,
it's because Game Freak can't fucking fund their own video games, let alone a legal team to follow up on cease and desists.
Because I've been hearing that they've been going after a lot of like TikTok leak videos that are like leaking a lot of the new Pokemon and some of the Paradox forms. And they've been like trying to strike them down, but I think that it probably just got to a point where it's too widespread that they can't control it anymore. Those pictures are out.
It's out there now, yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen a lot of it. I mean, we're only like a week away.
Yeah.
Like, is it really that like crazy to fully release a lot of that information?
No.
I don't remember how they used to do it.
Well, usually shit would get data mined.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, there's some stuff that I won't spoil. The one thing that I did notice that's going to have a big impact on competitive battling is that the max PP for Roost and Recover and Rest have all been reduced to 5, which will hurt Stall considerably and balance teams as well that need to rely on a defensive pivot to stave off scary attackers, which is, if that's not Game Freak balancing in action, then I don't know what is.
Yeah, the stuff that I've seen about it is, I would say majority promising. in terms of taking a lot of the good stuff that they saw from Arceus, implementing into a redesign of Sword and Shield, let's say, and kind of making things a little bit more streamlined still. Even like trainer battles seem like they're a little bit more streamlined. There's no animation going into trainer battles and whatnot, so it seems a lot smoother. In terms of like graphical release of the full game, it's still not like, I'm not wowed, but I have no idea what the performance is going to be like.
It would be a real surprise to expect
really
Game Freak to
out of the fucking Tegra X1 Plus SoC that the Twitch wrote. That SoC was a year old when the Switch debuted. The Switch has been out for 6 years now.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like people just want a little bit more of an optimized game in terms of like Pokemon. Not if they're gonna have overworld Pokemon and elements in the overworld, and you're gonna have a free world or open world, don't have shit popcorning in and out as you're speeding around the map. You know, that kind of takes you out of it. And then also distance elements, try to make them a little bit cleaner. That seems like the two main gripes on Sword and Shield.
Well, Poppin was really bad on Arceus.
Yeah, and Arceus too. Yeah, that was the other thing that they complained about, which I understand. I get it. Especially if you're going to have things in the game that allow you to move quickly, which you have these fucking legendary motorcycles that are going to speed you around the map, so you're going to have that element.
Motion blur. But that's kind of what it's there for.
Yeah. Yeah, true. But I don't know, it seems like everything so far is looking pretty good for the game. After a certain point, it's just also going to be like your personal preference. If you don't like the design of the new Pokemon or the design of the map, then okay.
I will say that I haven't been super hyped for this. I don't feel like the hype train has really been as pronounced for this as it has the last few generations.
Well, it's hard to be like super enthusiastic about like terrestrializing is different, sure, but it's not. It's not even like a form change. It's not a move change. It's just you get big. I wasn't
Gigantamax.
And Gigantamax, same thing. It's like a different Gigantamax, and I'm like, I don't know if I really like this. And they're even doing the same thing with like you have to raid terrestrial, Terra type Pokemon or whatever in these dens, and you have to like 4v1 them. And I'm like, is that really? We're just copying Gigantamax and Dynamax and stuff for the overworld, or how is this going to go? Are you going to do anything different with it? I will say the one nice thing, and it's not as much of a spoiler, but it's the guy described it a lot like the overwhelming feeling that you get when you play Breath of the Wild, where there's so many opportunities and options you can do right off the bat for it being an open world game that it kind of itches that part of your brain that I don't think Pokemon has ever done before, because we've only had a linear gameplay style. So we only had to go right to Cerulean City.
Hey,
that's our
in Johto you could go left or right.
you had more options, yes. You had a couple more options. They've been slowly adding options of like what to do in the game. But now they're just like, let's just let them do everything. And if you're not leveled enough, then so be it. So
the I remember there were some mods of like Crystal, like Pokemon Crystal Clear lets you it lets you challenge the gyms in any order. You could have like a bunch of different starters.
Well, I know that became a popular like alternate play style for Crystal, because I think in maybe it was specifically Crystal or just Johto in general, there were a lot of different gyms you could do out of order. Like what you're supposed to do when you get to, I think, your Teak City, after that gym, I think you're supposed to go left to the lighthouse town and face the steel gym leader.
Yes.
But you could also go right up towards the Lake of Rage and battle the ice gym guy. who was like 2 badges ahead. So you're like, why are all these Pokemon so much stronger?
But the weird part about Gen 2 was that the like Elite Four level and like the level cap that you started to see was a lot less or a lot more flat than it was in like Gen 1 and other generations. Like, remember the Elite Four Pokemon were only like 44, 45, and then like 50 was a strong instead of like 60. So they're all like downgraded a little bit, and I think part of that is endgame.
Yeah,
because you had the endgame.
All the Kanto Gym Pokemon were like 55 and fucking Red.
Yeah,
has a level 83 Pokemon on his team. Yeah.
Which I still don't know why they never decided to. Of all the things that they copycatted and like copy and pasted over from other gyms or other gens, that was the one thing that they never decided to like copy and paste. Is like some version of that. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Other like having 2 regions in the game.
Yeah, 2 regions in the game. Seeing like how things change over what maybe time.
I think Black 2 and White 2 tried to kind of do that thing, because I know in Black, was it in Black or White or is that Black 2 or White 2 where you went into like some random house in one of the cities and it was Cynthia and she just fucking challenges you to a match right there.
I don't know. They kind of did something similar like in Ultra Sun and Moon, I think.
You could play
there was like a grand tournament where they would like pull. Oh, and that was also, I think, a Black and White 2 feature with past gym leaders showing up in like in-game tournaments.
Yeah.
They never did. And like rebattling gym leaders was something they only did once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what I was remembering. In Undella Town in Black and White, I guess it's a post-game town, but if you go into Undella Town, you just in a house, you walk into the house and Cynthia walks up to you and challenges you to a battle. And she has a level 75 team.
Oh god.
It's not her championship team. It's a little different. It's Spiritomb, Electros, Milotic, Braviary, Lucario, and Garchomp.
That's pretty close to her.
Yeah.
The only one that wouldn't have been on there would have been Braviary, because that's a Gen 5
Braviary and Electros, because she had Roselia instead of Electros, and Starlio instead of Braviary.
Staraptor.
I think that's
Staraptor.
I think that's
Staraptor.
Well, Staraptor's probably a little bit better than Braviary, but I think overall that team is stronger than her champion team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was so that there was a lot of reports of people getting like just absolutely goofed on. Like they're walking around with their grinding team and they're just in town. Like, I have to fight the champion now. Shit.
Yeah. Love that. Yeah, so we'll see in a week in a couple days when Scarlet and Violet come out, how people like it.
Yep. So we shall. After 9 whole months, Dark Souls Remastered has finally had its online servers restored, thus concluding the most bizarre saga.
Is it any better than it was before?
I don't think so. I don't think
that's been a whole fucking debacle.
Yeah,
is the Dark Souls.
I guess there was a
PC
security vulnerability found in Dark Souls 3, which could allow some malicious code to be run through its online functionality. And it took 4 months after they took it down to hear anything about what the hell was going on. And they've slowly been restoring them, and finally Dark Souls Remastered has had its online brought back, which means that all 3 Dark Souls titles now have online on PC again.
About time.
Yep. N7 Day was November 7th, as it is every year. And
wow.
Yeah, funny how that works. And Mass Effect fans have decoded a hidden message from Liara in the N7 Day teaser that they dropped. Regardless of when you join us through 4 games and more expansions, you can say that. Where's the message that they decoded? Put that in the beginning of your article, please. This is a direct lift from which is in 2020. Now, this is where things get really interesting. The concept art. So I guess there's concept art from BioWare 25 anniversary book that they put out of like concept art of all their games. So it's an old one that's been recolored slightly and included in the trailer. And the interesting thing is that the concept art is old, but as BioWare suggested in the tweet, there's more to it than meets the eye or ear. In this particular case, SoundCloud user Mosaic Horse worked some audio magic on the video and discovered a hidden audio message. Exactly. And the audio is, exactly. The council will be furious, although they should know by now not to underestimate human defiance.
Okay.
So,
nifty.
Perhaps a hint at plot elements for the upcoming Mass Effect game.
That would be pretty cool.
I would have preferred something a little more concrete, like we expect the game to be releasing in X number of years.
Nah, can't have that. That would be productive and get people actually. I don't know. This I feel like this is kind of hype. Like it tells me that there's still thinking about it.
There's cautious optimism, I would say, amongst fans. I feel like a lot of people are kind of not super enamored with the current state of BioWare. You know, it's been a rough few years. Andromeda and then Anthem right after that. And a lot of people have left. It's not really the same BioWare anymore. A lot of the people that made the original Mass Effect games just aren't at the company anymore.
Yeah, so that's the case with a lot of companies, I think.
Yeah.
At this point. But yes, I agree that
I'm in the same frame of mind that I am with the new Dragon Age game, where like I want it to be good, but I'm not gonna like get my hopes up that it's gonna be anything more than Inquisition.
Another one.
Yeah. Of course, I mean Dragon Age. They peaked on the first one. They really did. It was all downhill from there. Well, it was a sharp dive downhill and then a step back up the hill.
Peaks and valleys.
Lastly, the new Cyberpunk patch brings with it a couple new things, such as FSR 2.1 support and a fix to a glitch that was causing boobs to clip through clothing. Apparently, if you are a female-bodied V and you increase your endowment slider all the way up.
Nice.
If you want more, just Google Cyberpunk boob clip.
I'm sure you will get exactly what you think you will.
You'll get the same results as when you Google balls XXX.
So rejoice or not, as the case may be, CDPR has said that it fixed the issue where V's breasts clip through clothes after changing their size at a Ripper Doc.
It's a different kind of Ripper Doc.
Yeah, it's the real life Ripper Doc. just like we saw a real life rip-off documentary.
There you go.
Weird. The Al Yankovic story. A Roku channel original movie.
That's right. It's the Roku channel marketing leader. This is marketing 101, loss leader strategizing. Give them a big hook movie, bring them in free, and pelt them with ads until they say, "Yeah, I guess I could sign up for Roku paid." Because I honestly did not have any idea that Roku was anything other than like the free generic channel for stuff that just didn't care to be on any other streaming service.
Well, I mean, Roku.
But I guess not.
They make streaming sticks. They make the hardware.
Yeah.
And the Roku channel it used to be something that was available on the sticks and had like a bunch of shit that it was cheap to buy the streaming rights for.
Yeah.
It's
like, here, your giant piece of hardware you bought is technically not a brick. Look, here's this base level service that came shovelware onto it. Enjoy. But I guess, yeah.
I was saying, and I mean, mine is purchased through a TV. Like I have the TV with Roku enabled in it.
TVs are popular. Yeah, Roku's like the #1 streaming device in the world.
Yeah, it's like
I wouldn't be surprised
then the
it's
Fire
super
Stick and then like
cheap.
Google Chrome.
Because it's super
Apple
cheap.
TVs
I mean, I got this Roku TV for like fucking mouse pennies, dude.
It's a video game menu that hooks up to the internet. It's a pretty accessible piece of tech. I did not mean to start this off necessarily as a full-on advertisement for Roku. I don't endorse Roku.
I stopped using.
I would
Roku.
rather watch a real streaming service.
Well, I don't think
shots fired.
I don't think people are buying Roku devices for the Roku channel.
Like I said, I got it for a handshake and a wink.
Yeah.
For a nice cherry phosphate down at the fucking soda jerk.
What?
Give him the old.
Get with the lingo, Kurt. Get yourself an egg cream.
Give him the old German.
I know what an egg cream is. I don't know what the fuck a soda jerk is.
It's the old name for a dude. It's the soda version of a bartender. So at the soda fountain, the guy who would serve you your drinks is the soda jerk.
I see.
And none of this has to do with the Weird Al movie. Although I could see Weird Al being like a 50s like soda fountain guy, soda jerk.
I feel like he's dressed up as one already with the amount of costumes that man has had.
Mm-hmm. So I know we are of some division of opinions on this movie. I know I enjoyed it quite a bit. I found it very lovely experience.
I liked it, but I just didn't find it as funny as I was hoping it would be. It's more of like there's a lot of chuckles and a few like hearty laughs in there.
I'm not going to say that the Weird Al movie was subtle in its comedy. I feel like that would be wrong to say. I'll say that a lot of the humor was very dry.
I think if you compare it to UHF, it doesn't compare very favorably, in my opinion. I thought UHF
they're
was a lot funnier.
definitely different styles.
Yeah, but I was far more entertained by UHF than I was by this movie. Not to say that this movie wasn't entertaining. I had high expectations. I think I should preface things by saying that. And I was kind of whelmed by the movie. It's not bad. It's like I said, like it's good for a few laughs, but it was not like the real laugh riot I was hoping for from the trailer.
Gotcha.
But I feel like that's kind of part of its charm. Like there are so many instances that take itself serious and does not take itself serious, and it melds those two and it kind of blurs that line, that it kind of leaves you guessing a lot of the times of like what's real, what's not real, what is supposed to be a joke, what is like even when they like in the beginning of the movie they did the whole like kind of like the coming of the realization that My Bologna was like that's his inspiration, and then he totally misses it later on with like Fat, and then he hits it so late, and it's like you think they're gonna repeat that joke, but then they don't, and they even look at the camera and they're like, "You gonna do it? Hey, do the thing you do."
It was definitely a range. I think what part of it, what I enjoyed was like one, which is weird. Like I enjoyed like Daniel Radcliffe did a solid job in this.
He did.
He was.
Yeah, he was
as biopic Al Yankovic. What acting chops. The other thing that I enjoyed about it was that this is kind of a small thing besides all the comedy and such, that it was reasonably like clean, I guess. There wasn't no cussing in it, I guess, specifically.
Yeah.
There's no cussing and there's
just
no
drug
like
references and
yeah. And for me, that means that it's borderline enough where I could watch this feasibly with other family members, like at Thanksgiving. Don't ask. The lines are strange. But this was the right kind of wholesome.
I get that. I've known people who are totally turned off by a movie if it has too much swearing and they use it a little bit too liberally. Which I
It also wasn't like depressing. That's the other thing. Like it was. I mean, it's supposed to be like this hard. Since it's a parody of those hard hitting musical biopics. Like I wasn't like, it's not a downer like a lot of movies could be, and that ruins things when I'm trying to watch it with like family. They really don't like downer movies.
I think part of where I felt the movie could have done a little better is they could have like satirized the tropes of the genre a little bit more than it did.
Well, I thought they did with like, I mean, the whole point of him like being sober the entire time and then finally having some whiskey at the behest of Madonna. And that you have also the love interest that either is like the drive for them or too clingy that they get distracted by things. But then they have the alcoholism later on, and they just chose him to be a drunk instead of like doing drugs. I mean, I guess he did do drugs technically once, but they had that culminate
that
into.
That sequence was pretty good.
That was fucking
choice.
Great.
This guacamole tastes weird.
Of course it
does. Oh yeah, it's loaded with LSD.
Rainn Wilson, real fuck. What a G in this. So, what was the rumor I heard? They were gonna get someone else to be Dr. Demento, but he had to come in like last minute. There's a lot of, I think, behind the scenes stuff that if I'm quoting it here, disclaimer, if I'm talking about it here, that means I haven't looked into it, and you should probably look into it yourself. Factoids, such real factoids, real fake facts, such as I think they only did shooting for like 18 days.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. This is basically a very long Funny or Die video.
Yeah, and it was made by Funny or Die.
Yes, that's kind of why I specifically chose that website.
Yeah.
So I could see that I would not be shocked if this were made for a fairly modest budget, because like there are people, it's filled with actors that are like the kind of famous where you're like, yeah, I've seen them in something before, but not the kind of famous where you have to pay a lot of money for them.
Yeah. Of course, Rainn Wilson, like we said. There's a big scene. There are a couple scenes, I guess, that were parodies of actual the musical biopics. Like the scene in the executive's office was right out of the Queen movie.
Yeah.
The one where he gets drunk on stage, I think, was The Doors. And the one at the pool was supposedly
specifically, probably.
Yeah. And the one in the pool was supposed to be Boogie Nights, which I enjoyed that scene quite a bit. They had, I think, was it like people were saying like Emo Phillips was Tiny Tim. They had Conan as Andy Warhol.
Yeah. Paul F. Tompkins was Gallagher.
So it had celebrities cameoing as other celebrities.
Yeah. Yeah, like I mean, I don't want to give the impression that I thought the movie was bad or anything. Like it had funny moments like that, but nothing that really like made me cackle. Like I really liked the LSD sequence. That was pretty funny.
I know I'm definitely gonna quote when he's slamming the fucking phone after hearing that Michael Jackson stole Beat It. What gives him the right?
I did appreciate the fact that, and I knew he would in some capacity, the real Weird Al.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, who would he show up as?
I would have preferred his character to be a little more featured because, you know, he's Weird Al.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, kind of featured. I'm scrolling through the trivia right now on IMDb to try to find out if there's anything about Rainn Wilson. The only thing about Rainn Wilson is that in the original thing, it was originally Patton Oswalt as
that's
Dr.
what
Memento.
It was. Yeah,
but he showed up as a heckler.
But he made a cameo in this as a heckler. But all the singing that was done by Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah.
And dubbed.
And that's a musical biopic thing too, where they'll just sync over the actual artist's music.
Although I was just seeing a story. Let me see if I can pull it up. That Weird Al kind of regrets not letting Daniel Radcliffe do any singing. Let me see if I can find the article.
My favorite scene, I think, from the whole movie was the pool scene at Dr. Demento's house, where I found the guest list. I've been wondering who all was there. The pool party included Devo, Frank Zappa, Salvador Dali, Andy Warhol, Tiny Tim, Pee Wee Herman, David Bowie, Gallagher, Wolfman Jack, John Deacon, John Denver, Divine, Elton John, Elvira, Alice Cooper, and Grace Jones.
I did.
Alice Cooper.
Them. Yeah.
That's who it was.
Oh, you didn't pick up on that?
I don't know him that well. I was like, I know who that is, but I can't put a name to it. Gallagher, of course. You know, how could you? Who was Conan's character?
Andy Warhol.
That's Andy Warhol. Yeah. Fucking amazing.
Yeah. I did pop for Conan, as I always do.
I thought you would. I thought you'd pop a little bit. The whole film was shot in 18 days. Holy shit.
Yes.
I mean, there wasn't a lot of different locations or sets that they needed to film it.
No. Yeah, but still, I think it's a mark. It's a good mark again on like Daniel Radcliffe's kind of acting resume. Like he's all for that kind of shit. Like I feel like he jumped at this chance. I don't know, but I feel like he would jump at this chance. We're like, you have to play alternate Weird Al. We have like 2 weeks to film this shit, and I need you to get super. Like I don't even think they asked him to get super ripped. I feel like he just did that.
That's just how he is. Like he's generally in good shape. Because he doesn't have a real job.
Adam Driver was the backup to Daniel Radcliffe if he declined it.
Oh, so that would have been. I think that would have been better.
Adam Driver would have been.
I think that would have been a lot better.
Picture him with the curls and the big glasses and the mustache.
Daniel Radcliffe did a good job, but hearing that makes me very sad that we didn't get the version of this movie that starred Adam Driver.
I want one scene I want the test scene with Adam Driver in it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find if there's anybody.
Give me a physical release with screen tests as a bonus feature. I need to see the Adam Driver screen test.
Fuck, I can't find it. I can't find if they have anything about it. I was hoping somebody would have like did one of those deep fakes where they could take like Adam Driver and put like a deep fake him into, or vice versa for Weird Al. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'll also say of this movie that even if it's not like a slam dunk of like it's not like a instant blockbuster. Just thinking about like this in the context of Weird Al's other movie and his many albums, like I just think I'm always happy when like it just comes out and it's like fine. It doesn't like it's not a weird stumble and trip.
I'll say this much. For a Roku channel exclusive movie, it's very well done. Like,
yeah.
This could have been so much worse. And like even shit like Netflix has put out original movies that are so much worse. Like Triple Frontier is a completely different category of fucked.
Yeah.
And that had a lot of money and a lot of big name actors in it.
Yep. But when you add Weird Al into the picture, like the Yankovic bump is not nothing.
I was happy to see that Weird Al's former actually I think current still Comedy Bang Bang co-host Scott Aukerman made his way into the movie. Although he started to get typecast as a cop because he was a cop in Auntie Donna. It's a big old house of fun.
Yeah.
And he's a cop in this. Scott Aukerman doesn't really strike me as a cop type, but
there he is. You reminded me of the opening, like the moment that I was sure that this film was going to be fine was ironically the first scene where the surgeon is leaning over him and like checking him out. He pulls off his mask and it's Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's like, "Damn, we're not going to make it." I'm like, "Yes. All right. They know what they're doing here." Yeah, the accordion gags are great. The whole the running joke of like Madonna as like the crime lord temptress, that was great.
I did have a nice little laugh at the bit where he's playing his first show in front of the rowdy crowd. And his roommates are like, "Oh man, he needs some help." And they go up on stage and they just can play.
They're just naturals.
I didn't know you guys could play.
It didn't seem
we
relevant
didn't think
until
it'd be
relevant. I love jokes like that. There should have been more jokes like that in
there. The thing that got me the most, surprisingly, throughout the entire thing was the very end of the movie when the credits were rolling and they showed all the throughout the life, the quote unquote real photos of like where this was based on. Like I think they had like maybe those might have been real pictures of his parents for all I know.
I'm sure like part of it started out like with childhood album photos.
Then they started to blur the lines and like it just got progressively dumber as it got on. And it's like
one joke I didn't realize, like it didn't click with me until after, was that like at the end of the movie he gets assassinated and it freeze frames right before he gets killed, and then in the credits they show him getting fucking splattered on the wall.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, we're gonna artfully cut around this." Nope. Here's him with and the credits song too. I stuck through the whole credits.
Yeah.
All right, I didn't stick through the whole credits.
No after credit scenes.
Did they do a like R.I.P. Coolio thing?
I don't remember, honestly. I was more entranced by the song itself They did the Coolio. They obviously did.
They had him in there, and I know this
Yeah.
movie was probably filmed before he had passed. I was wondering if they had stuck in like a in memoriam thing for that, because
I don't think
they
did.
They chose that song as like the big focal plot point.
Maybe on a special edition or something though.
Yeah.
Or some other release.
Although they did have beef.
I would hope so.
They famously did have some beef.
Right. That was like the closest Weird Al ever came to a controversy, was like he and Coolio Coolio didn't understand.
Coolio, I think he, as I recall, and details could be a little askew here, so don't take this as gospel. As I recall, Weird Al reached out to Coolio's people for permission, which is a courtesy. He doesn't have to do that.
Right.
And I guess his people gave the general impression that would be okay, but they didn't run it by Coolio himself. So when Coolio found out about it, and the fact that he didn't feel that he had given permission, he got a little hot and bothered by it. But I think it was pretty short-lived, and
they talked it over.
Yeah.
Like reasonable people, and came to an understanding, and then we got one of the best awards photos ever.
Yeah,
where both Weird Al and Coolio were wearing the wild Coolio style.
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, I have I like that.
I'm getting the
that's an iconic photo.
Yeah, here, let me I'll just
There's an article about like their beef. And what Weird Al paying tribute to Coolio right after he died. So I don't think there was anything in the movie about it, but he definitely did something on Instagram and Twitter, and they talk about it. And also there's a quote: "I apologized to Weird Al a long time ago, and I was wrong." Coolio recently said about his initial reaction to the hit parody. So
yeah. If I can get the fucking screen grab to work.
Ripperino Coolio.
There you go.
I giggled at the diversion into like John Wick action.
Oh yeah,
that was that didn't land.
I
for
laughed
me.
because they put the accordion music in the fight scene music, which was choice, and I'm in awe that they fucking managed to make Eat It an action movie one-liner.
Yeah. Oh yes. I mean,
I never expected them to do that.
That didn't really connect for me too much. Although I do love Pablo Escobar, that actor. He's in Broad City, and he's pretty funny in that. And I just. Him as Pablo Escobar was really funny. The whole interaction there. Like
it
was
too loud here. Do you want me to turn it down?
I can think again. This is great.
There were some good callbacks. Like they'd mentioned the
callback game was impressive on this.
Like they mentioned the Pablo Escobar one-off. Like that was
a couple times even.
And then to pay it off, they did that whole like kidnapping thing, which is a pretty big payoff. And then the medallions on the neck, the platinum records.
Yep.
That saved his life. I was like, okay, all right, solid. When I saw him get shot, I'm like, oh, that's how they're gonna pay it off. Good deal. I like it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of moments like that.
It is as far as, low budget streaming service you've never heard of exclusive movies go, you can do a lot worse than Weird the Al Yankovic story. I was I guess it seems harsh to say I was disappointed, because I feel like that carries with it this implicit notion that the movie is bad or I didn't like it, which isn't true. It
wasn't what you were expecting.
I was hoping for a little more je ne sais quoi, A little more.
So you would say that it's not the best, but arguably one of the best in a very niche genre of film.
All the parody biopics I have seen, this is certainly one of them.
Yeah, this is arguably the best parody biopic I've ever seen. Well, and
give him the award.
Would you call like Dewey Cox like a parody biopic?
Yes, Walk Hard is definitely.
Yeah,
and I would say this is probably a little bit better than Walk Hard, if I'm being honest.
So,
although it did have a lot of the same kind of jokes now that I'm thinking about it, like with his brother getting cut in half and the fucking kids getting eaten by the industrial shredder.
They never said what they made at the factory.
Yeah, you're funny.
You'll learn what we make at the factory when you work at the factory.
that I was like, they never paid that off, did they? They never answered that.
They
right?
never said. No, he asked what they do, and the guy.
I like it.
Him off.
I like that decision. I like.
You're funny.
They make sparks, from what I can tell.
Yeah, exactly. I just like the fact that they give the option to press those buttons like within his reach, and it just kills somebody.
That was like a UHF level gag. Like that's the whole range. Is like there's a couple of those where they're like really off the wall kind of silly stuff, and then like there's the drier kind of jokes. So I think I would say I would think you guys would agree that this is worth at least taking a look at.
Oh yeah, certainly. It's
not going to be
45 minutes.
There's
easy.
Like, look at the fucking top 10 at the box office, and you look at this movie and you say, yeah, no, this movie is probably worth
really any worse.
Yeah, and you can watch it from home, and you will come out more entertained than probably you would from a lot of those movies.
If you like Weird Al, you'll enjoy this movie.
Yeah, even a little bit.
It's not like you're not going to learn anything about Weird Al, but you will hear some of the man's music, and you will enjoy a lot of the same type of humor.
But that's not the point. You're not supposed to learn this.
I'm not. It's the rule in Seinfeld: no hugging, no learning.
Yeah, so I know I'm gonna check this out again. I'm gonna go back and watch this again over Thanksgiving when I'm home with the fam.
I had to squeeze this in at work because I might have forgotten today was Thursday. But I will probably give this another shake with my girlfriend where I can, sit down and watch it continuously.
Okay, I did that with the All Quiet on the Western Front at work. I was like, I gotta watch at least
work.
I was like, I have to watch at least 30 minutes or 45 minutes if I can finish this at home.
Yeah. I was like, I think I can get this out. So I watched an hour on my lunch break, and then when I was finishing a report in my office, I watched the remaining 45 minutes. All right, well, that's gonna wrap it up for 240, episode 240 of the Saturn Studs, or 340. God, we've been doing this for fucking ever. Basically forever. When people ask now if the show's ever gonna end, I'm like, talk to me when we hit episode 500. See how I feel at that point.
Yes.
Which is still another 3 years off.
Yeah.
So
plenty of time.
You got at least another 3 years of this shit.
Plenty of time.
You got forever, because we're gonna watch Wakanda Forever for next week.
Are we? Is that official now?
I'm
calling it here.
I really don't want to watch Wakanda Forever.
I don't either, and that's why I'm calling it, because I'm not gonna be here next week.
Early reviews has it at 7.3 out of 10.
So you're just gonna stick us with Wakanda Forever and bounce? That's your plan here?
That's the strategy.
There's no Paddington shit.
Oh no!
So
no.
we'll watch that, or we'll watch something else.
We'll find something, Paddington. Don't you worry. I've done it before. I can do it again. I will create something. We will read fucking books if we have to.
We wrote a comic about Paddington. What we think a day in life.
Review our own comic.
We wrote a comic about how what if Paddington was on Top Chef, and it surprised even us.
In this comic, Paddington competes on Forged in Fire.
Takes a bit toasty.
Takes a much different turn than you might expect. All right. Once again, that's going to wrap it up on episode 340 of the Saturn Studs Podcast. Until next time, be well, stay safe, and party like it's 1995.
Peace.
Bye-bye.